Hello everyone, Cordell here. I had an idea for a very simple and quick video. The camera shakes every time I move my arms. I had an idea for a very quick and short video and simple video that I wanted to put out while I still had a chance here. Where in the world does Bee and Puppycat take place? So evidently, yeah, it's some alternate universe to our own, alternate timeline, whatever, doesn't matter. What we're trying to figure out is where in the world does it take place if it takes place in a world that's analogous to Earth as we know it. So I started going for the show. I looked at the currency that they use. Usually they're bills and coins that have pictures of Pretty Patrick's face on it. So that does very little to help us figure out, where in the world this takes place. Because if, for example, they were obviously caricatures of U.S. money, then I'll just say, oh yeah, this is U.S. money, but it seems very consistent that it's not U.S. money. It's very consistently not Canadian money. I can say that for certain because I'm Canadian. So what do you do then? You start looking for references in the show where it could be located. It's just an island and there's a mainland. That tells you nothing, really. So you keep going through. So then you have to start looking at stuff like animals. There's the goldeneye fish, which is fictitious, unfortunately. The show does show deers and foxes and dogs and cats and birds, but they're usually very generalized versions of these animals. Like, for example, if they said, oh, this is a Sitka deer, you'd be able to look up the range of Sitka deer and be like, that is a very small range where this could take place, but unfortunately, it's not that easy. But there's one animal that fucking nails the location of the show. However, I will get back to that in a minute. Another thing you can look at is the climate. The climate of the island is seemingly controlled by the island because there's an episode I don't have access to Netflix at the moment, so I can't tell you what episode. There's an episode where the island basically speed runs the 4 seasons in a loop in the same day. I believe that's Snow and Violets. I could be wrong. And unfortunately, because the island controls the weather and the climate, it seems pretty much impossible to go off of that as a guide for where in the world the show could take place. So back to the animal that nails down the location. In one of the episodes, again, I don't currently have access to Netflix, so I can't tell you. Bee and Puppycat are away, and we're focusing on Cardamon. And he goes on this little field trip of his class, and the teacher specifically mentions a fish called grunion. Grunion are a small fish that come to shore every year to spawn, and I believe that they die after they spawn. We have something very similar to that here in Newfoundland called capelin, but they're not the same fish at all. So these fish called grunion, they are real fish, and they are found almost exclusively around California and parts of Mexico. Meaning that the only place that this show could take place because of the range of these fish are a very small section of the California and Mexico coastline. So there we go. That is where Bee and Puppycat would take place if it was in this world. It would be somewhere along the California and or Mexican coast. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.